friend. There's a lot of people out there who knew.
I'm putting it on Facebook right now. Do you know
is this
who
a
Pam
good time
Dauber?
for a break? Because it sure sounds like it.
Yeah, I think so. We are going absolutely nowhere fast.
When we come back, we'll continue our conversation about Tom Hanks. It's a great time to talk Tom Hanks.
That we never really
we wanted to, and we went way off base talking about gorillas and Pam Dauber. But when we come back, we'll talk about Tom Hanks' top gorillas. Something I never thought we'd mention in Beats and Eats. Let's go to break.
800-pound gorillas. All right, I'm not going to even cue a break because I'll cut that in.
Actually, that's pretty funny. But that's a true story. That gorilla story is very true.
Pam fucking Dauber. All right, bring us back from break.
Welcome back to Beats and Eats, everybody. A happy hour for the mind. No guest tonight. Nick and I just talking, being thankful for all your reviews and ratings on iTunes and subscriptions. We've been overwhelmed by your support. And we've been talking all sorts of stuff. Pop culture, you want it. It's been an explosion. It's been like a bomb dropped in the virtual lounge tonight with all the things that we're talking about. Talking about 800-pound gorillas. We got to that because I was talking about Tom Hanks. We were talking about Tom Hanks and Big and the store that he worked at Big.
Please, no more gorillas.
Yes. Mercy, no more gorillas. We'll have the top 5, our best gorilla movies. That might actually not be a bad one because there have been quite a few. Mighty Joe Young.
Never heard of it.
You're killing me, Nick. Mighty Joe. You're killing me here.
I didn't ever hear of it. I can't. What am I going to tell you? King Kong?
Yeah, what's that, right? You've heard of King Kong. Okay. But there have been plenty of gorillas in the midst.
In the midst,
not
monsoon.
mist. The gorillas in the midst.
The gorilla monsoon.
I've got a segue to this to Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Do you have top 5 music or not?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, not this again.
Okay.
Can we get rid of this music, please?
Well, we will. Okay. As I promise you every week, I'll look for some new music. But having said that, I've got my top 5. What are we at, a strip club from 1950?
It's band practice.
I hope people at home are finding this amusing.
Oh my God! Or in
Here
the
we
car.
go. In the car. Top 5. Top 5 Tom Hanks movies. Okay, top 5. I've got to compose myself here. Top 5. You know, we think we're damn funny. I certainly hope people at home think, or in the car think this is funny.
I didn't even know what the top 5 was. I didn't know we were doing a top 5. I didn't know. I'm like sitting here scribbling right now. This is going to be terrible.
Easy, though. Come on, Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
his body of work. Okay, top 5 films all time. And I've even got 5 honorable mentions. And some of these might actually catch you off guard. Some of these might actually.
They're going to be all like from the 70s with Pam Dauber as his
Tom Hanks was.
By the way, no one knows who Pam Dauber is.
If you're over.
Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Kathy Coulter just said Mindy and Mark Harmon's
There you
wife.
go.
Well done,
Kathy Coulter. I think she follows us on Twitter too. Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So anyway, top 5. Getting back to.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Now another person knows, but they are making a fool out of me. These people are all making a fool out of me. Corinne Leonie Tressler says, the girl from Mork and Mindy, that 80s show.
And she was also in a film with, remember...
Dude, everybody is, like, seriously, we just got 30 comments. Like, I'm getting told off really bad.
Of course,
hear what I'm
because
saying.
everybody knows who Pam Dauber is.
All right, Booker.
Okay. Nice.
She'll be on the next show.
I'll book her.
Booker.
She was also...
Lisa Deeb just said Mindy of Mork and Mindy. I don't... Everybody
Dude,
but me knows who this woman
You're talking
is.
about a person that was on the front page of TV Guide.
Now you sound real ballsy. You sound real ballsy right now. You're confident.
I'm very confident.
This is just
my chest is sticking out. I'm very impressed with myself at the moment.
I can imagine.
All right. Can we get back to Tom Hanks? Okay.
Yes.
Top 5 Tom Hanks movies of all time. This is just my list, my preferences. I'm actually anxious to hear yours. At number 5, you hate comedy though. You've said that.
I do like Tom Hanks likes comedy.
You don't like comedy, although Haliva really put you in your place when you said that, talking about the wingman.
No, I'll tell you who really made me laugh was Ramsey. I have to upload that one on iTunes. I haven't yet.
We have got to get you to sample other comedians then if Ramsey made you laugh. Ramsey Swice we're talking about, of course.
The worst comedian of all time. I mean, but he's gonna be famous for being bad. I'm telling you.
It kind of this might be before your time. Do you remember Andy Kaufman? He was on Taxi and did his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I thought
and
great movie, Man on the Moon.
Just an unusual guy, and he prided himself. A very complex man too. He prided himself on being a bad comedian because he wanted to have a joke on the audience. Remember some of his bits? They were so painful.
Yeah, he was very hard to... He was very weird.
He would go up on stage and do these bits that nobody got, and it was the tension it would create between he and the audience. The joke was really on the audience. He wanted to see how, you know, what the audience can take, like the threshold for being awkward, the threshold for not being fun, how uncomfortable it was. But he was a genius. Very funny at times, though, too. He had, like, multiple personalities. Like, Tony Clifton was alter ego. Remember? He'd walk around with the mustache. And yeah. Mm-hmm. Carrie did a great job portraying him, too, by the way. Carrie.
Very good job.
Okay. Matter at hand. Tom Hanks. Top 5 films.
Yeah.
Of
Thanks
all
for
time.
giving me a little time to...
That's what I'm stalling so Nick can do the list.
I know. I can see it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Number 5. I don't know if you've seen this or not. It was one of his earlier films, and it came out in 1988. Punchline.
Never saw it.
Wow. Punchline with Sally Field. He plays a stand-up comedian who's basically, not basically, he is kind of a train wreck mentally. Wonderful film.
No, I didn't see it. No, I did not.
Sally Field plays this housewife that goes behind her husband's back, played by John Goodman, by the way. And she sneaks out of the house at night to play these comedy clubs. Funny stuff. Funny stuff. Sad, too. Sad, too, because Tom Hanks' character in the film, Stephen Gould, is such a lonely guy. And he falls in love with Sally Field, and, of course, she's got her family and her husband. I highly recommend it. A lot of people didn't like it, but I think it gave you... I did. I think it gives people great insight into the world of stand-up comedy, and Hanks, at a young age, does a terrific job as comedian Stephen Gould. Wonderful film. I really liked it a lot, so I highly recommend if you haven't seen it, take a look back. Punchline, it's from 1988. Hanks at a very young age in a dramatic role. And remember, back then, he was doing more serious roles. So it's kind of ironic he's doing...
I think he does more serious
No, I'm sorry. He was doing many
now.
comedic roles. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Sorry.
So the irony is...
I'm having a hard time focusing because of all these Dauber results. I'm not even kidding you. I have our Facebook fan page and the Beats and Eats group, the virtual lounge group on Facebook. I'm getting attacked for not knowing.
Well, she was only on the cover, I think, of TV Guide, Time Magazine, worked with the biggest star in the world, Mork and Mindy, the #1 show in America at the time.
Okay, all right.
Well, there was no cable. Think about it. There was really no cable back then. We didn't have all these shows, so people, I mean, you had so many eyes watching Mork and Mindy back then. And I don't think that that's a show that's held up well at all.
Oh, it's a terrible show. How could a show about an alien and an egg hold up?
Well, how
at
about
all?
when they added Jonathan Winters to the cast?
I didn't watch it that long, Kai. Back then, in all honesty, back then, you know, Robin Williams really got on my nerves.
He still does.
He
still gets on my nerves. And we mentioned this in the last podcast we did.
Not in his serious roles, he doesn't get on my nerves.
No, he's great. I loved him in Insomnia. That movie. Did you ever see Insomnia?
That was good. I mean, he was in a
Awakenings with De Niro.
Was he in Dead Poets Society?
Yeah, of course. He was the idealistic teacher, right?
Okay. Yep. How about the one with Matt Damon and Ben
Hunting.
Affleck? He was in that.
He won an Academy Award.
Right. So the guy's great, and you know, it's a shame that he's broke now. If you want to find out why, we're not
we did
get
last
into
show.
It.
So Punchline, number 5.
Okay, my number 5 has to be.
Should I stall longer?
Time for this. Yeah, so just talk about Pam Dauber a little bit more. Castaway is my
That's a
number
good choice.
5. And mainly because it's hard to be in a movie and have it be such a smash hit and really only have maybe 6 minutes of dialogue in the whole movie.
Or have a relationship with a volleyball and make it work.
It wasn't
No,
laughable.
it wasn't. There was not when I went to see that film, I think it came out Christmas of 2000, and I went Christmas Day. There was not a dry eye in the house when Wilson broke off from the raft. And it's funny, but it's not funny. It's true. Because you think about it, you're away from civilization for 6 years, or maybe it may have been longer, I can't remember. And you've developed this relationship with, and that piece of athletic equipment to keep from going insane. So, it's kind of funny, but it got him through, is what I'm saying. And it was just like a person in his life that he needed to talk to on a daily basis. So it's a true story.
And you have a volleyball
that I talk to. No, mine's a football, Nick. Or being Celtics fans, we talk to basketball every day.
Oh God! What's your
number 4? Of course, is Big. And we've talked about. He plays Josh Baskin, the kid who makes a wish at a carnival and wishes to be big because I think he gets made fun of at the start of the film. Right? He wants to go on a ride or something like that. And the girl he's really interested in is in line, and he gets made fun of and gets embarrassed. So he goes over to this machine, like the Zoltar machine, one of those fortune-telling machines, says, I want to be big. And sure enough, the next morning he wakes up in the house.
With this kid, it's hilarious because he has on the kid pajamas.
Right, and you and I talk about physical comedy all the time on the show because I'm a fan of Ritter. I think he's a genius, and John Ritter. And so was Tom Hanks back then. Mm-hmm. That movie, Big, required so much physical comedy. There's a scene in Big that, Nick, I think is genius. Do you remember when he goes to the company party? First of all, he goes...
And he eats the Cornish...
No.
When he comes down the stairs...
Right, the white tuxedo. And...
With the tail. It had tails. And it had, like, Liberati bedazzler.
Right. And he walks over, remember, to the hors d'oeuvres, and he puts in the...
He eats the Cornishin.
And eats it like it's corn on the cob. Because a kid wouldn't know how to eat that. Mm-hmm. Or he has some caviar, right? And, he spits it out. Kids, the great thing about they're not embarrassed that way.
He just didn't know.
Right. And I wonder sometimes, I'd love to talk about him, even though he'd probably bust my balls for asking these questions, because we've heard Hank's interviewed, and he gets tired of answering these questions.
And it was totally the questions
totally the questions I would ask him. What was he thinking when he came down the escalator or the stairs during Big wearing the white tux? I would totally want to know what he was thinking. How we got into character. But getting back to the physical comedy, that scene in the bedroom when he wakes up in the morning, when he finds out he's big and he's trying to put the clothes on, it's hilarious. It's absolutely hysterical.
Yeah. Good stuff. Great.
Just
movie.
A fun movie. You could watch. I mean, I don't think there's even a scene in the movie that you wouldn't watch with your kids. It's a fantastic film. And was he nominated? I think he was.
I think he was. The other thing too is the asshole in that movie. I forget his name. And you don't like him, but him making fun of Hanks is really funny.
He's trying to bully him. Just like a schoolyard bully. And Hanks was, Hanks had been dealing with that anyway when he was smaller. So wonderful film. Elizabeth Perkins is very good too, because that's his love interest in the film, because that couldn't have been an easy role either.
No. Because
Hanks acts like a 10-year-old in a grown-up's body. So you have, was that your fifth one?
That was my fourth, and we're on to my fourth, which is The Green Mile.
That's not on my list, and it's not on my honorable mentions. Interesting. So tell me about what you like about The Green Mile.
I just think it was great. I think he was great in it. And you always think about really, why would you think about this? But I think about how much pain he must have been in with that urinary tract infection throughout the whole movie. He can't piss, and it was just a great movie. I thought it was well done. It was good.
And Michael Duncan Clark was excellent. The late Michael Duncan Clark, who passed away recently. Tell me about the supernatural aspect of the film. That's what me personally, I didn't get that.